Moving forward now, there's a quote from Samuel Eto'o. I don't know if you've been a party of these Okocha, Ronaldinho debates all this while.
It's a useless conversation.
They will play for Paris Saint-Germain. But recently, Samuel Eto'o, of course, is the FA president for the Cameroon Football Association. Sorry, the FA president. Now he came out to say something about injustice in world football. Now he said what we saw Ronaldinho do a few years ago, Jay Jay Okocha had done 10 or 15 years before, and he never had the recognition of others. And that's what happens. Now this is one thing that I find fun, and that's what happens when it comes to Africa. Why do we always feel attacked? Anytime something happens, if it's not racism, we always feel. I understand these things happen, but we shouldn't always feel attacked when it comes to situations like this. But that's another discourse. But Okocha, Ronaldinho, do you agree what Samuel Eto'o just said? That what Ronaldinho did a few years ago, Jay Jay Okocha had done it 10 or 15 years before and never had the recognition of others.
Samuel Eto'o, fine guy. To me, the most successful African footballer that ever played football. So I'll give him the respect he deserves. Honor to whom it is due. I'll give him his flower. I can't take anything away from him. He's the example that anybody who is playing football in Africa wants to follow. But I am sure Samuel Eto'o never wished to be like Okocha. I am sure if Okocha is that good, I understand he's not the football president in Cameroon and he needs to be in the news. He needs to do a lot of talking, go get chieftaincy title, sack people who come late to work. That's the good side of it. But you see this conversation, Samuel Eto'o is not deceiving anybody. This is what they call eye service talk. He should stop it. Okocha and Ronaldinho are not mates in football at all. If it is football artistry, even Ronaldinho is way, way better than Okocha. Ronaldinho did not start at the top. When people bring this conversation, they talk like we are all small children. I was in Port Harcourt when Nigeria 99 was hosted. I'd already gone to Europe, but I came back to Port Harcourt and I watched Nigeria 99. Yobo played for Nigeria as a striker at the time. And I remember a certain Ronaldinho Gaucho, was at the Shell pitch in Port Harcourt. Oh God, Rumokruchi. And you see this guy play football. This time they have not crossed path. There's not cross path with Okocha. He doesn't even know who Okocha is, whether he exists or not. Okocha is a football artist. Well, come on. Ronaldinho is he takes it different. First off, Ronaldinho has got speed that Okocha does not have. The pace that Ronaldinho has got, Okocha does not have it. Now, what is common? Okocha used to play on the wide side when he played for Strabuki, when he played for Eintracht Frankfurt, and sometimes at Paris Saint-Germain. But Ronaldinho was a dribbler with a purpose. He was a man on the mission on the ball. Okocha was a guy who makes it impossible for his team to score. And there's a very simple analogy that I always give you guys when we talk about Okocha. To me, Okocha is one of the worst footballers to ever play football. If Edafe says it, and don't forget that Okocha is the executive producer of my show, right? So I sit here and I say this and I'm like, hey Edafe, what are you saying? Everybody's in orgasmic mood now. Everybody are in war mode now. They want to shoot me. But I give a very simple, the simplest analogy that I can give. Okocha is what I call, in Bible where they say somebody wasted talent. Okocha is a wasted talent. Ronaldinho is a fulfilled talent. I'm not going to say because he's the executive producer of my show, I'm not going to say the truth. He can get angry. It's going to make me make more money than I ever imagined. Okay, as the executive producer of my podcast, as the executive producer of Finding the Next number 10. But I'm still going to say it the way it is. As talented as Okocha, the time Okocha went to Paris Saint-Germain was an O-level team. It's not this Paris Saint-Germain. So let's not even talk. The time Okocha was playing for Paris Saint-Germain, the big team in France was Olympique Marseille. And even the French league was still a layback league. Even Monaco was way ahead of Paris Saint-Germain at the time. They didn't even win the league. Okay? And then he left there, went to Fenerbahce. From Fenerbahce, he had a few good games here and there. That's it. Ronaldinho, Barcelona had not been known for the Champions League. They'd won it only once in their entire life, and nobody really took them serious, even with all the great players that they've had, until Ronaldinho showed up. Ronaldinho showed up, and Barcelona went from just that team like Tottenham Hotspur is to Arsenal, just that team that is struggling so hard to be like Real Madrid, to the team that Real Madrid is afraid of, to the team that made the Spanish La Liga become the domineering force of European football, and then pass on the baton to the greatest footballer I've ever seen in the world, Lionel Messi. But before then, we saw what he did. And these things are not, even blind people saw it.
Blind Bartimaeus saw it and he testified of it. So we're not going to be here talking about Okocha. I can't remember some. If you talk to me about Bolton Wanderers, let's be very honest. If Ronaldinho played Bolton Wanderers and Okocha played Barcelona, would we be having this conversation? If Ronaldinho played Bolton Wanderers and led them to the highest height is the Carling Cup finals that they lost to, I think, Aston Villa, would we sit here and say a player whose highest height, highest glory is going to a Carling Cup final in club football in Europe or winning the league in Turkey is not the guy you want to compare with the guy? Okocha is not on Deco's list, on Deco's level, not to talk about.
So you're trying to say he didn't do it in the bigger stages compared
they should not even compare the two of them. Ronaldinho won the World Cup and he was a star player in the World Cup. He won the Confederations Cup. He was a star player there. He won the Copa America. He was a star player there. Okocha played 10 years or 9 years with Sunday Olise, who is a deep line midfielder, a defensive midfielder. Sunday Olise created more assists than him. They went to the Olympic. Even at the Olympic, Sunday Olise created more assists than Okocha. What is the essence of the dribbling if the dribbling is not result oriented? Let's not even have this conversation and begin to fool ourselves because we're Africans. We like to nag. And that's exactly what Samuel Eto'o is doing. We're just nagging. If we're not crying about racism today, we're crying about this, we're crying about Ronaldinho for football. And Okocha, if you call the two names, it's travesty. It is a crime that is punishable by hanging. You can't call those two names together. What are we saying here? Okocha was a circus showman. It was a showman that, if the people who played with Okocha would be honest to God and come out and speak truth to power, most of the strikers, people like them, Victor Agali, Agawa, Obafemi Martins, and the rest of them, will say that their goals were reduced in the national team because of Okocha. Let's not, mince word and pretend about it. We see Okocha in France '98 doing his own thing while the team was suffering. We saw him in '94 against Italy doing his own thing when he needed to set his attacker free. Okay, when we even need him, we are leading now. Hold on to the ball with all this your prodigious talent, with all this your skill. Hold on to the ball so that the Italians will not get the ball. He didn't do it. And then he loses the ball. He doesn't even track back. He doesn't even support the team. It wasn't. One of the best games I see Okocha play for Nigeria in Tunisia was the semi-finals. After that, Okocha now came to the fore from 2004 till he retired. But even at that, it was waning out. Ronaldinho was consistent. He didn't have like a long span career, but the short time he played, have we ever sat down and compare Okocha with Messi? Have you ever seen anybody do that?
No.
There's still an argument that Messi is not better than Ronaldinho. There are people who still argue that no, we cannot agree, Messi is not better than Ronaldinho. And this talk of the one that I hate the most and that pisses me off the most, coming from a footballer, that Okocha taught Ronaldinho what you know how to do. And Okocha have not been able to teach Alex Iwobi how to play football. please, nigga, please, talk better thing, I beg. There are some things you say, I will say we're joking. But then there are some things you shouldn't even say at all. So you think that Okocha can pass talent to Ronaldinho, a Brazilian, but he can't pass that talent to his own bloodline, his own sister's son? I beg.
But let's look outside the football aspect now. Do you think
can we judge him outside football?
Because a lot of people, I feel Okocha wasn't pushed enough. I mean,
who they push? Who they do the pushing?
And all that. Because Ronaldinho outside football, I mean, there are other things he does to to push himself.
Who's responsible for that?
Yeah, that's another angle you might want to look at.
Am I the one responsible? I'm not the one responsible for pushing your brand. First off, if Okocha as a person, let's not forget that Okocha is not a first generation footballer. His elder brother Emmanuel had played football before he came in. Emmanuel was a real JJ. Yeah. So if there were mistakes, look at Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather is this successful because he learned from the mistake of his dad. Mbappe is turning out to be who he is today because somehow his father played elementary football. Erling Haaland also is because his father, Haaland, played for Manchester City before and he's learning from the mistakes of his dad. Second generation players are supposed to be way better. What is the lesson that they learn? Let's not talk about Okocha and call Ronaldinho in that sentence. If you want to talk about Okocha, for me, I wouldn't even say Okocha is the best number 10 that came out of Africa. If you put Momo Abutrika here,
I was about to go there because
you put Okocha
in the
here,
African continent,
I will put Momo Abutrika way ahead of Okocha. If you put Rabamaja here, you put Okocha here, I will pick Rabamaja ahead of Okocha. What are we even saying here? What are we saying? Like that Okocha taught Ronaldinho. Then they teach person how to play football. Then they teach person football. Football is This is how I define football. Football is the crude oil that God gave to the poor. That's how I define football. That's why it is also very hard for you to see rich people's children who know how to play football. Football is the giveaway that God used to bail out poor people from poverty. Look at the best footballers in this world. They are from the slum. I've not seen an ambassador's child who is a heavily talented footballer. Maybe you mentioned Sona Loku, whose father was rich. But hey, it's not prodigiously talented. If you look at the prodigiously talented footballers, they are from the worst of the slums. This thing, Alex Iwobi knows how to play ball because his parents get money. Okocha play football because it's a do or die thing. It's a life or death thing. Is he talented? Yes. But the talent did not manifest properly. It's like when you go to Harvard and come out as the best student of Harvard with your certificate and everything, and then you start working as a political thug to Jagaban, and then they say you are a very, very brilliant person. My friend, go and sit down, go and look bush. People are using the talent that you have to create global solutions for problems that will last generations. You are doing political talk and you say you go to I beg. Gaddafi's son play for Inter Milan as a political figure, not as a footballer. Where did? Don't be dodgy. I better leave that one. Let's not talk about all those people. Okocha and Ronaldinho cannot be in the same sentence. These are people who play football in my generation. Okay? Every landmark of Ronaldinho's career, we can point out the great things that he did. Okocha, plenty anonymous. Times when you needed him to bail out Nigeria. Yes, there are one few moments here and there. The 2000 Nations Cup finals where he scored one goal, and as Africans we over celebrate that one. The Eto way with the talk. So if they put Eto here and put Okocha here, who would you pick? No, who would you pick? Somebody that even an African Footballer of the Year, nothing win. They talk of world award. Samuel Eto'o won an African Footballer of the Year award over Okocha. He didn't come out on that podium and say, no, I don't deserve it, give it to Okocha. Did he say that? But Ronaldinho won the World Footballer of the Year ahead of Eto'o. Eto'o did not say, this award that you are giving me, give it to Okocha, is the man that deserves it. Did he say that? Leave all this high service talk.
So you disagree with what he said? Totally.
Why I not going to disagree? Even though I adore him, he's the most successful African footballer. It doesn't mean that even person with is successful not go to drunk sometimes.
All right. I mean, it's been a talk that has been going on for such a long time. Okocha
is not all that. Okocha knows how I play, but the way the people they talk him.
Because with the way
he's more of a ball juggler than a real footballer.
Okay.
So you think that all the great coaches in Europe were all dumb, that they didn't sign a great player? They saw a great gem like that, nobody signed him because nobody wants a circus show in their match. Okocha went to a club where winning is not a key thing. The target of Bolton Wanderers is 40 points every season. Just survive relegation, barely survive relegation. Big clubs don't need a player who will help you survive. In short, big club don't even talk about relegation. When you're a big club, you talk about winning titles, not even qualifying for Europe, winning titles. Okocha was not the guy you put in your team and you win titles. Samuel Eto'o won the African Nations Cup back to back. How many did Okocha win? Samuel Eto'o won the Olympic if Okocha won the Olympics. And Okocha is not, you can't tell the story of the Nations Cup, the Olympic winning team, and you say Okocha was an integral member of that team. Kanu Wako, who came in on the last day and made the team and they dropped Jonathan Kpobore, also made an impact more than even the Okocha that we're talking about. So let's be very, very honest here. There's never been a time in Nigerian winning of any title that you can say the scruff of the neck, Okocha single-handedly won this tournament for us. But there are times when Nigerians have been knocked out from tournament where you can blame Okocha, flip that script and go to Ronaldinho. You can talk of when Ronaldinho went to Bernabeu and the Real Madrid fans were clapping for him, 5-0. You can talk of when he single-handedly won Champions League or one tournament for the league title for Barcelona. When he contributed to Brazil winning the World Cup in 2002. He contributed to them winning the Confederations Cup. He contributed to them winning the what's the South American Cup again? Copa America. Please explain that for me in Okocha's language. Okocha was in the star-studded 1991 team that went to Cairo in Egypt. What did they come out with? Please, nigga, please tell me something better.
All right, Samuel Eto'o, we disagree, or the Elevator One on Sport disagree with your comment on JJ Okocha and Ronaldinho. I mean, two talented players, if you ask me. Enjoyable to watch.
You are listening to Elegbete TV Radio.